So far, this is a legit block. Oh yeah. I'm gonna take it easy here till I can see the lines. Okay, well, having a good look. Having a real good look before I kind of release my brake. Today I'm riding in Sedona, Arizona, and I'm in the Dry Creek region. I'm going to ride down the Coxcomb and Outer Limits Trail and then loop back up the Erie Trail. So this is a very cool flowy section here, so let's go ripper. Yeah, this ride today is mostly across country. The Outer Limits Trail is a very smooth, bermy, gradual, flowy descent. So right now I'm still on Coxcomb, but I'm at an interesting vantage point. And so right in the foreground here, it's the beginning of the Outer Limits Trail that sweeps around here in this sort of open plain. But the ground control trail I'm taking today is gonna go across on a bench cut across this mountain out here in front of me, sweep around the back and then descend down there. So this is a very cool vantage point of what the ride is yet to come. Still climbing. So I have never ridden this trail before. It has been on my list for a few years, but it's a little hard to get to. And it's usually not on, if you want to ride some black trails, there's some pretty good alternatives here. So my sense is that it's not on most people's radar, but I do kind of have a bit of a program to ride some of these remaining trails of these bucket list destinations like Sedona and Moab that a lot of people probably don't ride, but that are still pretty awesome. Yeah, I would think that so far this is a legit block. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna try that. It would be way cooler in the other direction though. Yeah, you can see the Outer Limits line right down there. And I can see Alicia running through the trees down below. She was doing the trail run today while I was doing this harder trail. And for those that are interested in the flowy or bermy or higher speed ride on Outer Limits, Alicia and I did that a couple of years ago. So there's a separate video on that. The thing about Outer Limits though is, if I can add to that, that the top 2/3 is very intermediate and flowy, but the bottom third, as it enters the canyon, is a narrow, ledgy bench cut. It's a little unnerving for an intermediate trail. And then you have a, I don't know, 300-foot climb to get out of the, because you cross Dry Creek at the bottom. And then you got to climb back up to the parking lot. Oh, look at this. This is what I was hoping for. Yeah, what a place. So yeah, there's the Outer Limits Trail. Meanders in around here. And straight ahead is sort of central Sedona. And I think that's Bell Rock right in the middle. Cathedral Rock off to the right, with the High Line and Slim Shady trails in there on the mound in the middle there. Anyway, what a vantage point. Oh yeah, and so cool across the valley here is, so Cottonwood's there, and the little town of Jerome is about halfway up that mountain range, little mining town. And if you're in the area, that's a very cool place to check out. But you can see there's a little bit of snow residual along that mountain range because it's pretty high. Don't know the elevation, but so my trail carries me around here. So let's go. So Trail Forks has this as a black, but at the trail marker on the trail, it actually lists it as a double black. So I'm gonna take it easy here till I can see the lines. Oh yeah, that was rideable. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Pivot wide here and then straight down to the right. Oh yeah. Okay, well, having a good look. Having a real good look before I kind of release my brake. Oh yeah, this is totally okay. There's two lines. One to the right with a bit of a berm and a more direct route. I'm gonna have a look because there's another drop below. I'm gonna have a quick look. Okay, this is kind of like a cascading waterfall. There's the harder line, probably the double black, where there's a lot of rubber right down here, direct into this second stage right here. But then there's a turn to the inside and then a berm down here. So this is the easier line. Again, all very rollable. I think I'm gonna try this harder, more direct line here. Okay, the trick here is the braking and the cross camber adhesion, because it's not straight in. The line is off camber. So here we go. Okay, there was a bit of a compression entry to the top of that steep section. But very rideable. This is very cool trail, yeah. Yeah, this is definitely my kind of trail. Yeah, I would say it's a little harder than Brewer or Pyramid. There's a very narrow line on Pyramid. That's probably the challenging section. Maybe a little harder. Here we are. So I'm now on sort of the middle section of Outer Limits. So just to conclude the last Frontier Trail, if you can ride Brewer or Pyramid, I think that this is certainly in your sweet spot, but it's definitely harder than Slim Shady or Templeton, other two blacks in the region, but not as hard as any of the doubles. So it's a, here we are, there's Alicia. Ooh. And another interesting trail in this region is the, I think it's bottom out or bottom up, I can't remember, but it rides through the Dry Creek Canyon. Very technical and janky, but one of the most interesting and unique trails in this whole region. I'm now about 2/3 of the way up Axis. Yeah, sort of the flat spot near the top, but very scenic spot along the trail here. Thought I would show. Well, once again, Sedona is world class. The trails here, even the ones you've probably never even heard of, are just so awesome. That ground control, if you're an expert level rider, should definitely be on your list to put it on there with Brewer and Pyramid and Slim Shady and so on. And it's a little hard to get to, but fabulously worth it. So thanks for watching, folks. We'll see you next time.